All right. Hi, my name is Russ Robertson, and this is Dr. Lynn, and this is my wife, Judy. And we're going to talk today about doing some plantings. We're going to talk about container gardens. We're going to talk about where to place them, why we place them there. Also, we're going to talk about types of soil we're going to use, and we have some plants, and we're going to go through that whole process and get everything planted today. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was looking at this area over here. You can see from this side yard that it's very shady over here. And if you look down, continue to turn around, keep going. If you look down the hill a little bit right there, it's also a nice spot, but it's a very shaded area, which is perfect because there is actually one area in this thing, and that's right over there in the sun that you just pointed to, that is going to work perfect for putting in a container garden. It's gonna have and what you're looking for when you do that.
6 to 8 hours of sunlight a day.
Yes. By the way, my wife has got a degree as a master gardener, and but even outside of that, she's been a master gardener for many years. So.
But you're the chatty one. No, you're both chatty. You're both chatty.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have learned everything I have learned through my wife, through osmosis. So. Okay, so now we've moved around. This is where we decided to put the VegTrug. Now this is a VegTrug. That is the brand name of this type of container garden. This is a porous cloth that is held on top of this thing. So when you put your dirt and materials inside of here, it's going to have drainage. Right. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about with this particular container garden. And of course there are all other kinds of container gardens. Large flower pots are considered container gardens. Old boxes, things made out of pallet woods, stuff like that. Those are all container gardens. The difference is, and the important part is that it has good irrigation and good drainage, because you don't want to just fill it up with water. Yeah, so all the dirt in this container garden is going to be organic, 100%. This is by Miracle Grow, and they promise you 2 times the growth. So we'll see about that.
Okay, so let's
But I do like Miracle Grow as far as the other products, but I like this more because it is pure organic and there's no chemicals involved. So, okay, so now we're back. You see how easy it is to fill. And basically what we're doing is we're just pushing this out along the edges.
straightening it out.
Straightening it out. Now you can use a little rake, a little hand rake, it's a little claw thing, or you can, personally my wife and I,
we like soil.
There's nothing better than getting your hands into the soil and really feeling it. All right, so
How many bags did you use?
It looks like we used 9 bags.
9 bags. Okay.
9 bags to fill this up. So what we're going to do is we have a large variety of plants. Most of these plants that we have here are the Bonnie plants that we got, and we got these actually from the local box store. And I'm not going to say which one because I won't. But these are organics. Now we did get some other normal plants that are not organics. And so basically, I'm going to go through each one and show you what we have. This is rosemary.
It smells wonderful.
Does it smell great?
Mm-hmm.
I just love it.
Heavens, yes.
So this is rosemary. It's a very slow grower. So slow, it drives me crazy because I love to cook and I love to grab the rosemary from the gardens. I think it's a favorite part of cooking for me is I get to go out into my yard and pick my own fresh vegetables.
And then I go out and my nice rosemary plant is so high.
Because I'll clip it so bad before we finally actually bought another one, and we would probably, for our household, probably have about 5 of these would be growing really nicely. So how the roots are.
See how the roots?
Yes.
If you don't break them up, they have what is called memory root. And the roots will continue to grow like that in a circle. They won't go down. So you can even tear the ones off on the bottom. It won't hurt the plant, but break them up.
Because of the memory root, like she said, otherwise
they just keep going in a circle. You see now they're nice and all torn up now.
Okay.
Make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and then you want to pull it into the sides
Okay.
and pat it in firmly. Don't stomp on it.
Sorry.
No, you
you're
weren't.
doing fine.
I'm
You're doing
okay?
fine.
The
Okay.
lady I was talking to, my plants won't grow. I step on them really hard all the way around.
Okay, so that's
So that's the
lovely.
first one.
that's our first one.
My
now,
gosh, I planted a plant.
Did.
now
leave it right there.
this particular organic plant has a
Peat pot.
it has a peat pot right here. You can see
Peat,
the
P-E-A-T.
peat right.
Okay.
You feel that?
Yeah.
It's wet. It's moist.
Ooh, yeah.
Because this doesn't get taken off. Where you saw that I took this off,
I'm gonna use
this
that
gets
top.
planted
Trash.
right in the ground. Now, I believe
Yes.
you take the plastic
I'll show
off.
you. Okay, we're gonna hang on to this. This is your. Now,
need this.
with the tomato, you see that hairs all along the.
Yeah.
You can plant a tomato all the way up to there, and everything that's underground will turn into roots. So if you have a tall, scrawny one, you want to pick off your bottom leaves. And like with the peat pot, it should have a thing that says tear here.
Oh, you're
You
so
tear
clever.
there. And now the same thing with any other plant. Now see how the roots are already coming through here?
Uh-huh.
So on the bottom, you want to tear off the bottom. You
Okay.
don't have to do the rest of the pot, just the bottom.
Okay.
And make sure this is opened up. Now you want to dig a hole here,
Right
but go
here?
all the way down. So we're going to put it all the way in there.
Okay. Now, one of the things about this particular tomato plant compared to other ones is this is a bush plant. And the reason why we bought the bush plants was because we don't want to have a tomato cage in this area.
Because of the VegTrug.
Because of the way the VegTrug is,
can't put a
it's
cage in
cloth. We can't put a wire cage on top of the tomatoes. So we got
Yes, true.
Right.
See, we'll go through.
This will stay nice and
it will stay nice and bushy and tight
Yeah,
together, okay?
Okay.
So that's why we decided to go with that. Now we got another tomato over here.
You want to pick off the bottom leaf there. Remember the
leaf?
tomato?
Yes,
You can put it all the way down.
Okay. Now we're going to put that there.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay, and here's your.
You have no idea how competent I feel now.
That's what we're here for. That's excellent. And anybody can do this. It's as simple as what we're doing, making it out to be. Too,
Right,
because
right.
it's not something complicated. And the more you watch our videos and you learn about plants and stuff, the more it'll come.
Okay, I thought because of the size and shape, we're going to put a pepper here, here, and here, and here. We have 4. I know there's only 3
We have
pots,
3.
but there's 2 in this pot.
Oh.
So we're going to
yeah.
break them up.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So-
Actually, one of the things we do when we buy plants is we're always looking at the
I always
plants.
look for the one that have the 2 or the 3.
Yeah, because you get 2 for the price of
Right,
it. 'Cause
right,
you-
yeah.
And Judy will show you when we plant this how you break them up because
Right.
because you really don't know when you look at the roots whose roots are who.
So here, if we do one here and one here, that should be just about right. So if you want to drill a hole, I'll open one up for you. A pepper plant has a woody stem. So if you look at the stem, you can see how it's different than a tomato. There's no hairs. There's no places
okay.
where you see. And with any plant, when you're planting it, if there's dead leaves, remove them. Take off the dead leaves. Okay, open the bottom. And make sure those roots are. There you go.
Okay. And so now this isn't as deep as the other, correct?
Right. We went him a little higher than the tomatoes.
Okay. So
He's good.
that's good. Okay.
This
Now,
is the yellow pepper.
This is the kind of weird part that I noticed as we were picking these out. These peppers actually say red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers. I remember that a bell pepper was red, it was green, or it was yellow, depending upon how long you left it
how
on the
ripe
vine.
it was, right.
So I guess they have perfected that nowadays.
And this is a sriracha. So
A serrano hot pepper?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
so here, right here, let's put him here.
Okay, is that also woody?
Yes.
Okay.
So we don't have to go that deep.
Right, so you know how
Right.
deep to bury it.
Oh.
That's good.
You have to leave space between your plants, especially in Florida, because when it starts to rain, they're going to rot.
Right.
You know, because
they're
they
too
have to
close
get some
together.
air, some circulation in between.
Right.
Or
You
they're
don't
just
want
gonna-
them to rot.
No, you don't want them to rot.
And if you look at the label with each
Yeah.
plant, it'll say spacing.
Right,
It'll
how
say,
far.
Okay.
for instance, spacing on this one is 18 to 24 inches, and so forth.
But when you're doing container gardenings, that's not always the same either. You can put things a little bit closer with containers.
You can put them closer together because they're in a container and because you control the water flow.
Right.
If this was in a garden, a huge outside garden,
Okay.
you're not really controlling water flow as much, so you have to have as much space apart as possible.
Okay.
Okay, quickly about this particular plant. Now, if you notice, this is what's called a Thai basil. It's for Thai food. It has a unique flavor. It's almost like I want to say just a tad of licorice to it. It's got a great basil flavor to it. But I wanted to show you the flower beds, the flower tips. When we plant this, we're actually going to cut these off. But we're not going to throw them out.
Okay.
We're going to take these and we're going to put them. Where's the hole for?
We don't have a hole yet.
We don't have a
Shall
hole.
Shall we make a hole?
We're going to make a hole right down here.
Okay.
So we're going to take these flower pieces and throw them into the hole. And the reason why is because a plant, and this is because of my biology teacher, taught me, was that a plant spends its entire life doing this, making
Trying
a
to
bloom.
produce a
That's
flower.
all it does.
Because these flowers are all seeds. Now also
So-
you'll have seedlings in there
Oh.
too.
Right,
Okay.
but also it spends its entire life making the bloom. So all the energy in the plant is in the bloom. So why throw it out when it has energy? It has
Fertilizer.
fertilizer in it and everything else. We're just going to put that right in there. And then
with
we're going to take these
Both
guys
with
here.
both the basils, the more you use them, the healthier they'll be. So there's no reason why you can't
See,
come out
and
with
again,
right
we're
now
talking about
and chop it off.
breaking it up again. We're going to put that down, and it's all set to go.
There you go.
All right. Okay, we're back. All right, so one more last thing before we're going to get into the watering part of it, and then we'll be done, is the choice of the seeds. Now, my wife has decided to go with the Seeds of Change. And what was this you were telling me about them?
They're the largest seed sharing co-op in America.
Right.
And they also do, like if you want a whole garden, they'll make a whole garden for you and you give you a price on it, everything you need. And they donated to the seed library out at the University Extension. They gave me a ton of seeds. I was so impressed.
So we're going to plant carrots and we're going to plant
Radish.
radishes. And one of the reasons why we chose these two is because we're going to plant them side by side, right on top of each other, right next to each other, so that it saves space. So it makes the container garden more useful. But it also is, by the time we are completely done with the radishes and we have pulled them all up and we have eaten what we've taken, the carrots will then start be sprouting just a little bit. Carrots have a longer growing period and they take a while to get done. So
Here, we're gonna do this differently.
she's going to do it technically, right?
Put carrots there and the radishes here.
Okay.
And always go with the little tags because
Anything you can
I
use.
can't tell one seedling from the next. My wife, on the other hand, can.
Okay.
You're supposed to plant a seed and cover it with the same amount of dirt as large as the seed is. So that's not a lot of dirt to cover it with. So you're going to take some seed, some ground, and you're just going to sprinkle lightly. Yeah, you can take it from there. That's good. That's good. Okay.
Okay.
Now the carrots are tiny and they take forever to germinate. So we're going to put those here. Hold your hand out again. See how tiny they are?
Oh my gosh, yes. They look like shell husks. Yeah. Anyway, so what am I doing here?
Right here.
Same thing?
I've grown carrots in a 2-liter soda bottle.
Really?
And they do really good in there.
That's amazing.
Okay.
They're so tiny.
Cover them up, and not as much as you did with the other ones. There you go. Now you want to pat firmly.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if you don't pat firmly when you water, they're all going to wash away.
That makes sense.
Now we have room over here for one thing else, so I have lettuce.
Ooh, I love
So
lettuce.
Always put them in your hand. Don't ever pour from the seed. Just like you never feed fish with straight from the container. You put it in your hand.
Well, I don't. My hands are all wet. I don't want to do that.
You could have your. Sometimes that's what happens. You get 500 seeds in one. That's enough. Way too much.
They are a couple. They've been married a long time.
Can you tell? Can you tell?
Okay, now the last thing is the watering. Every day, this is all planted. It's all ready to go.
It's beautiful,
and it's really looking nice. Now, the couple things about planting, because of this container garden, you can't really overwater this particular garden because of the cloth that we talked about before. So when the water starts running out at the bottom, you know you probably gave it enough water. The other thing is if you're going to be gone tomorrow all day and you watered it today, you want to make sure it gets a good drink today, so that it will take care of 2 days.
And what time of the day should we water?
Well, you never water in the late afternoon like it is now. It is always best to water in the mornings or mid-afternoon.
Okay.
But if that's the only time
Because
you get
of
to
mildew,
water, then
we'll do it. Yes, it's
right.
better that than
And
nothing.
why is that, Judy?
Because of mildew in Florida. Things rot in Florida.
Right. The hardest thing about growing vegetables and plants in Florida is the mildew. It gets so damp. Now we've had a great spring so far, so I'm not worried about it. So anyway, she's got water going. She'll water. Now when you water over the seedlings, you got to be careful, because if you water too much, all that time you spent putting that stuff into a row, it'll be all over the place.
Now see, every plant that I'm watering, I'm really going to give a lot of water to, but the seeds I'm just going to go over just a little bit, and then I'll come back to them.
Okay, so we're all set. That's all we got for today. A couple things about watering. We said you could overwater it, but this is spring right now, so it's new plantings. We want to make sure they have plenty of water. As they grow, weeks down the line, you don't have to water it every day. You don't have to water it every other day. Up to about 1 inch a week, maybe 2 inches a week is all they really need. That's really hard to judge, but you'll get there as they start to grow. You'll see, because
If you take your finger and you stick it in the ground, and if it feels moist, it's fine.
It's got water.
it's fine. It's
Right,
got
but if
water.
it comes out dry, then you need to water.
Then you need water. Okay.
Right.
As the summer seasons come, it's going to rain every single day here. This is Florida. This is what we do.
You won't have to water at all.
You won't have to water them at all.
Nope.
All right. Anyway, thank you so much, Lynn. It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Good heavens.
Try your own container gardening. They're fun.
Right.
Amen.
Fun,
Yes. And the thing that I really love about this is that I don't have to bend over. I don't have to get down on my hands and knees.
There you go.
I'm too old for that. And so this is just thrilling that I can have something that I can reach.
Yeah. This is going to be great.
Yep.
This is going to
Yay.
be great. We'll do a follow-up in a couple of months and see how it's growing.
Okay.
If
Wonderful.
they're growing.
Yes, they will. They will be
will.
growing.
They will be growing. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.